So, in today's session, I want to talk to you guys about your money frequency. And the way this session has been designed, like you would literally see your money frequency. Like we will put a spotlight with a very, very, very deep awareness on your money frequency. Hi, Andres. So lovely to see you. Huge welcome. So good. Hi. So, what we are going to really look at is that what is your current money frequency and how it's controlling you. So, you might have heard me talk about the concept of money frequency, and you have a specific money frequency. But in this session, we're going to go laser focus on how exactly it's controlling you, because you will have incredible breakthroughs. And what I want you to really notice is that when I say the symptoms or the things, I want you to see which ones you can relate to and which ones actually apply to you, because the moment you have the awareness, you can break through. So that by the time you have the awareness, you are 50% already there, because you can break through. And towards the end, I'm going to share with you the exact process to break through and what not to do, where people get it wrong. So all the powerful stuff. So after this session, we will really dive into the frequency of money that you're manifesting. Okay. And you will have incredible time. Even when I was preparing this session, I was having goosebumps, because the way your money frequency controls you is just insane. It's so deep, way deeper than we can ever imagine. So before we dive into that, what I want to quickly do is I want to show you guys how this all works really, really quickly. Okay. So you can see my whiteboard, you can see my, because I'm going to do some drawing. So here is your mind. And so this big circle is your mind, okay? And the small circle, we want to make it small. We want to make it small because your mind is way more important than your body. This is your body, okay? So this is the top part is your mind and the bottom part is your body. Now, everything on this planet is vibrating. It's vibrating so fast that it appears to be still, but everything is vibrating. You are vibrating right now. Wherever you're sitting, what is around you, every single thing is vibrating. Now you have a vibration for money. So when you check your bank account, when you think about money, you have a specific vibration. That means your body starts to vibrate at that level. And that vibration attracts. So that vibration is a specific number. It's literally the specific number that you receive in your bank account every month. That is that vibration, okay? And you attract. So basically, when you're vibrating at that frequency, there is a resonance between your vibration and the vibration in the quantum. So you attract all the plots, plans, circumstances, everything from the quantum based on that vibration. And this is your money frequency. The way you vibrate with money and what you attract from quantum on that number is what you attract in your bank account. You think from that frequency, you feel from that frequency, and you act from that frequency. So if you want to increase your frequency, first of all, we want to understand what is your current frequency made of, okay? And I want to show you on day-to-day basis, like how does it show up? How does it control you? Okay, so the first thing, what we're really going to focus is on the receiving frequency, because there is a separate money frequency for receiving. There is a separate money frequency for holding. There is a separate money frequency for saving. There is a separate money frequency for investing. So the basic one is receiving, because if you don't receive, you cannot save, you cannot invest, you cannot hold. So the first thing that we want to crack is receiving. The second we want to crack is holding and saving. And the third we want to crack, and holding and saving has a difference. Receiving means that you receive. Holding means that although you receive, but it doesn't stay, it just disappears. Like there is a hole in your pocket. It's just goes. Holding means you hold on to it, you spend it, it's there, it stays with you. And saving means that you choose to save that money. That means you don't even spend it. And then investing is the highest money frequency, because that is a bit uncomfortable, quite uncomfortable as well. It's like you're giving away a huge chunk of your savings to invest in something that you don't know what's going to happen, right? So investing is the most evolved frequency. And when it comes to saving, okay, what starts to happen is when we increase our saving frequency, we fall in love with seeing huge numbers in our bank account. And then when we go on the investing frequency, it's very uncomfortable, because like, why do I have to do that? What if I'm not, like, what if I don't see these numbers again? I love the idea of having big numbers in my bank account. I want it to stay like that. But so investing is the more evolved frequency. Now we are talking about first receiving. Okay. When it comes to receiving frequency, the way, and I'm going to close the whiteboard because we don't need it. Okay. So when we talk about the receiving frequency, first of all, whenever you are doing something, right, the key thing, your receiving frequency is showing itself in your assumptions. That's why two people can use the same strategy, same how, and they can have completely different results. Because let me give you an example of, let's say you're doing something which will give you some investment, like some kind of money. Now your assumption is, I always do things wrong. I always make mistakes. I was always told I mess things up. I was told I'm not good enough. I was always told I make big blunders, and my parents used to ask me, what is wrong with you? Right? I never get anything right. It takes me slower. Or if it's your business and it's about receiving clients, it could look like you can do the same strategy, but your assumption could be they will ghost me, they will not talk to me. I'll have to really force them to work with me. Right? It could be in a lot of ways that it can control you. Okay? But the key thing is your assumption. What are you assuming? Okay? What are you assuming when you're starting something? What are you expecting? And these assumptions are the record of the past. Here now I want to really elaborate on this by saying that these assumptions are actually stored in your body. They're not even in the mind. So you don't even consult your logical mind and say, does it make logical sense that I'm assuming that? No, it's far beyond the mind now. It's gone in your unconscious program. So your body has learned the assumption. It has memorized the assumption, and now it assumes automatically that it's going to happen. This will happen because last time you did that, this happened. You messed it up. You'll mess it up again. This will happen. You will not do this properly. You start things and you don't stop things. All these things, the assumptions, people will not pay. People will not do this. People will not show up. If I don't give people 4 weeks to do this, they won't do it. While somebody in your same industry might be doing it in 1 day. It's so the way the outcome happens is the way you assume, because based on your assumption, you attract other people. Now, one of the huge breakthroughs that I had when I was doing this work was that you assume from other people the way you see yourself. So money is not just about you change your relationship with money. It's also about changing your relationship with yourself, and which is a reflection of changing your relationship with how you see other people. So if you think, I don't do this and people won't do this, they won't do this. I don't trust myself that much, so I don't trust in other people. I don't trust I can nail it, so I don't trust they can nail it. So your money is not just about your relationship with money, it's your relationship with yourself, which is very much tangled with your relationship with other people. So what do you assume about your clients? What do you assume about your business? What do you assume about the opportunities you're working on? What are your assumptions? So in our inherent nature, we are one, we are the same. And anything that you can do, anybody else can do. Anything that anybody else can do, you can do. And when you start to hold a high image of yourself, high concept of yourself, and then you reflect that on other people, you project that on other people, and you say, we can do this, let's go. You attract people who can do this. You attract people who pay. You attract people who do the work. You attract people who move with you. You attract people who do crazy things because you start to see yourself differently. So when you're saying, this person will ghost me, do you do that to other people? Or do you do that to yourself? Do you make promises to yourself and ghost yourself? Do you say to yourself, I will do this, definitely, and when the time comes, you just ghost yourself, you just ignore yourself, you just distract yourself? So first thing with money is, how do you see yourself? How do you treat yourself? What do you assume about you? And here comes a bit of, what if it doesn't work? What if I was right? What if I actually cannot do it? But the question is, have you checked? Or you just don't want to face it. So we don't want to check what we are a match for by going all in. So what we do is either we go half-heartedly or we don't go at all. What if we go all in and say, I want to see what I'm a match for? And if something doesn't work, I'll be fine. I will see where was the gap. But how would you see the gap in your conception of you if you don't even go all in? So what if we do this 2025 with all of our heart, all of our soul, all of our love, all the juice that we have, and we say, you know what if it does work? What if my match is the greatest thing and I wasn't even checking? What if I give it all? Because why not? And when you do that, then you attract people who get involved. And when two people who are all in, they meet, they transact, a lot of money is circulated. They create a lot of value. They create a lot of things. They move together. So the first thing is, what are you assuming? The second way money really your money frequency is controlling you is, let's say you set a frequency. So it's really, really important that you set a money frequency, okay? And you have a goal card with that money frequency. You set that frequency, but when you set that frequency, now you're saying, I see myself with that amount of money. It's so good. I'm seeing that. It's happening. And all of a sudden, the outside shows you something else. And boom, your energy ping pongs. And you lose the frequency. This is the way your money frequency controls you. What it does is, it's like you have a frequency and the outside validates that frequency. And don't worry, I'm going to show you how to change that. But I'm just showing you that when your energy ping pongs looking at the outside result, it's your money frequencies in action. It's not the outside that's the problem. It's not you that's the problem. It's the frequency that is in action. And you can change that. Okay? So it could be that you were supposed to receive payments. It could be that somebody said to you, I want to work with you, and they didn't. Or somebody said to you that I want to buy something from you, or maybe you were doing a project and it didn't work. Whatever that is, if that controls you, it's not the outcome. It's not the physical reality. It's your money frequency. It's the awareness. That is my money temperature that is controlling me. Okay? And then there is this always underlying thing I see with a lot of people. Something will happen. If I'm having a good time, something bad will happen. So they keep having a good year, good month, and they're assuming something bad will happen. Why? Because their money frequency is trying to keep them on the same level. So you realize the only reason I'm thinking that way is because of my money frequency. Nothing else. Something bad will not happen. But if you keep thinking that, of course something will happen. Because you're thinking that. Okay? So the other thing which is crazy is that when you are, let's say you are working on something or you're doing something, and you know that if you do this, it will literally change your results. Like if you take this step, which might be uncomfortable, it will change your result. But instead, you choose to do easy things. You choose to do the things which you know it's just gonna take the time away. It will keep you busy, but it's not what's gonna give you a result. So your money frequency is controlling you by saying, oh, let's just check your emails for now. Oh, let's just do this for now. Oh, I need to fold the laundry first. Oh, I need to do this. I need to call this person because they've been waiting for. So one thing that I noticed when I was doing this work, every time I would sit down to do the needle moving things, my mind would go in panic and would say, you need to call this person. You need to do this. And you remember you had this appointment, you didn't move it yet. Come on, can you do that? It's like your mind will make sure that you don't do that thing because it will increase your money frequency, and that's not the game. That's not supposed to happen. So it will give you all the things that, all the admin things that you didn't even have at the top of your mind. And now when you're sitting and focusing, everything is screaming at you. Oh, you have to empty that. Oh, you have to order this from Amazon because you would need it day after tomorrow, and if they can't deliver, then you'll be in a big problem. So first do that. It's like all the things that you're supposed to do, which will keep you busy, not productive, they will come and scream at you. That's your money frequency. Okay? Then another thing is, I have so much to do, but I don't have enough time. Money frequency. I have so much to do. I have so much to do. I don't know when I'll do it. I have so much. That's the money frequency. So yesterday I was watching one of the interviews by Jeff Bezos, and he was saying that I start my day at 10 o'clock. And in the morning, I just relax, I spend time with my kids, I have breakfast. And I was thinking, how on earth is he doing that? Like, he's running $1 billion, $1 trillion company. Why? Because he still have 24 hours like we do. But when we are constantly against time, like it's like a battle against time. It's like time is against us. It's running and we are chasing it. That's your money frequency. It's not the time. Time doesn't even exist. Time is an illusion. It's your money frequency telling you don't have enough time. And when you keep telling yourself, I don't have enough time, you actually do the things which delays everything and not important thing, because now you have to create the reality that you actually don't have enough time. So instead of thinking that, okay, when I look back in the previous years, the things that I really needed to do to move the needle were so less. Like, I think I could have done it half of the year or less than half of the year. But why it takes longer? Because you tell yourself, I don't have enough time. Hey, money frequency is at play. And then all the unnecessary things come, and you have to make sure that you create the reality where you don't have enough time. Okay? The other thing which is really important, which controls your money frequency, is prices, or what you charge, or what you believe. Even if you have a job or anything, what you believe you're worthy to get paid. So if I say to you, whatever you're earning right now, can you rearrange in a way that you can earn 3x by increasing your prices, or by increasing, by asking for a 3x income, and you would almost have a panic attack that no, nobody's gonna pay. I would have nobody. Why? Because that is your money frequency. And the problem is, when you have that temperature, when you have that assumption, of course you'll attract people who won't pay. So it is a way to keep you where you are. That is a way to control your money frequency. So if you say to yourself, can I double my prices tomorrow? And you will not be energetically behind it. You're feeling very nervous. Nobody's gonna pay. People are already objecting my this price. How would they pay me more? It's your money frequency. And also what happens is, because you think that people cannot pay, it's a reflection of your worth. Because there are people who are paying 10 times more for the same thing that you're providing. Or there are people who are earning 10 times more for the job that you're doing, if you're in a job. So why is it that it cannot happen for you? Because it's the reflection of your worth. And you're attracting people who are actually proving it to you. Yes, I am the person who won't pay, because that's where you're assuming. So you're attracting me. We're both on the same frequency. Here you go. So when you start to, and I'm going to share with you, don't worry about how to change it, but first I want to show where it really shows up. So you can start to look at these symptoms and say, oh yes, I can see what's going on. Okay? Because awareness is everything. The other thing is, which controls our money frequency, is over-delivering, overworking. So let's say you're given a project at work or in your business, and you do way more than what you were asked, because you want to make sure they don't fire you. You want to make sure that the client stays. That is money frequency. It may not even be needed, or it may not even be something they asked, but you'll over deliver. So in my journey, what I found myself over delivering was, if some client would come to me for a specific thing, I would try to teach them all my programs and give them everything. I want to give you everything so that you are happy. Why? Because I'm seeking validation from you. I want you to tell me I'm good, because I'm constantly doubting. So you have to validate me that I'm a good coach. And what happens when you have that energy? You attract people who ask for infinite things, and they're never happy, because it's a reflection of who you are. And what I realized was, actually deep down, I'm not happy with myself no matter what I do. And I'm projecting that on other people. They're never happy with me no matter what I do. So I keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. Okay? So when you increase your money frequency, which I'm going to share with you, then you start to realize, what is the right thing to do? Because if you are doing that, then you would also expect from somebody else to do that for you, because it's a chain. I over deliver, the people I attract over deliver, and I expect you to over deliver because I do that. So everybody's over delivering and not being judged fairly, not being treated fairly. So this paradigm doesn't help anybody. It's a chain. We need to break that. What is the right thing to do? What is the thing that you'll be proud of yourself, but not from validation perspective? Okay. The other thing is endless to-do list. Endless to-do list. Putting everything in your to-do list. And here in my journey, what I realized was I thought I needed a lot more than I actually needed. So here, what we realize is that you say to yourself, I am I am the unique person in a negative way. Like I am the who would need to do more than normal people for some reason. So if somebody needs to do 10, I need to do 100 to get the same results because I'm not worthy. I need to do more. It could be I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not this enough, I used to get bad grades, I'm not got the degree, I have this background. It could be any story you're telling yourself. But the endless to-do list is coming from you're believing more is less. And we want to turn it to less is more. Less is more. So now, because I've really worked on this was a huge for me. What I realized was that it's not about how much you do. If you focus on the feminine energy, which is nothing to do with gender, it's the kind of energy which is the being energy, and you really strengthen your being and receiving, your doing will reduce. Because we are overusing masculine doing energy, because there is a gap and there is a hole in feminine, there is a leak. So let me give you this example. If, let's say, let me give you an example of it related to me, and you can use it to anything else. Okay, let's say I'm doing a webinar. Okay, I'm doing a masterclass, and I would love to offer my program at the end of the masterclass. Right now, my old paradigm would tell me you need to have 100 steps to call people in. You need to DM every single person that you can potentially think attend. Okay, you need to send hundreds of emails before the masterclass. You need to send so many reminders. You need to, there is a very convoluted system that I need to make sure, focusing on the word, make sure that people attend. Right? So all it's down to me. There is no receiving. I have to make sure, masculine, I have to kill myself to make sure. Now, when I'm doing all of that, I'm not focusing on being. I'm not focusing on my creative side. I don't even have time for that because I'm so under snowed with all the work that I need to do. So I've lost my spark. And by this point, I've lost my energy and I've lost that magnetism. And now people come on the webinar, which is, again, there is a ceiling on that, because my assumption is not a lot of people will come. People say, but they don't come. People don't commit and all of those things. And I never really receive a lot on all those things. And then when whatever people come, now I've lost my spark, my magnetism, my creativity. The more you relax, the more money you make. Because when you're relaxed, you're creative, you're going in that zone, you're connecting with your oneness, you're connecting with your higher self. So I don't have time for any of that, and I deliver that, and it was a very flat thing. Now, because I know I didn't do that and my being was very weak, now I have to have a very convoluted process to chase them, to make sure that they sign up for the program, and so you see how to make sure, like me, it's all me, no receiving. I have to 10 million steps to have this and nurture and all of that. And again, the people who attended, they didn't feel that activation, they didn't feel that spark, they didn't feel that pull, because I wasn't on that frequency. And I'm only relying on my doing to attract those people. But if those people didn't feel anything, no matter how many things that I have in my nurture sequence or all those things, it's not going to work. It's going to actually repel people. They're like, oh, another email from her. Another email. Let me just unsubscribe her. Let me just get rid of her. She's so annoying. So you see, like, how we repel. But now let's take the scenario of being more. Let's say that I really tap into who I am. I operate from that place. I relax. I'm creative. I'm so in my power, and I post from that place. I don't post too much, but 3-4 times a week, but I'm really, really, really attuned in my power. And every time people read my post, they feel my frequency, they feel my vibe, they feel my being. It connects with something really magnetic. And now, because of that, they check my profile every day to see if I posted anything. So I don't even need logarithm. I've just bypassed all the things. And then when I say I'm going to do a masterclass and I just post 3 times or 4 times about that, and all those people sign up without having any of these things anymore doing. And I'm really tapped into my being, and I'm really tapped into my magic. And then I deliver that from that place. It's like it's being channeled through me. And then I tell people, if you feel called to work with me, here's the link. That's it. Can you see like how we can actually tap into ease and flow by doing less when we really focus on the being? So when you feel like you have endless to-do list, please go in your feminine. That means you're too overly on the masculine. Ask if you can really tap into your power, tap into the belief, really stand behind that and really tap into that energetically, your to-do list will be 10% of what it's now. Okay? The other thing where money frequency controlling you is nervous system deregulation. Like some days you're so happy, sometimes you're so excited, and sometimes you feel like, oh my God, it's a mess. I can't deal with it. It's so painful. You're screaming at your kids. You're just like you're constantly all over the place. You're like, I was better before self-development and personal development than I am right now. What's going on with me? I wish I didn't know any of this. That is the nervous system deregulation. And that is an opportunity to expand. Nervous system deregulation is good and bad. The reason it's good is because it's an invitation to grow. If you don't feel deregulated, how will you get regulated? So if you start to play small so that you never have any deregulation, how would you ever grow and expand? So I notice myself, I pay attention, and anytime I'm feeling a bit like, oh my God, this is going crazy, I allow myself to expand. That's an invitation to expand and tap into your oneness. The next minute, there's an invitation to surrender and sit with the discomfort and feel it and say, yeah, I know the discomfort. I know I don't know exactly 100% what's going to happen. And I'm feeling nervous. I have doubts, but I am allowing myself to expand. The key with holding money and even receiving money is people who receive a lot of money, they're okay with a lot of discomfort because it's their used to program. It's like they're okay with not knowing hundreds of things. So if you think of Jeff Bezos, how many unhappy clients he has every day? How many people they don't get their parcel? How many problems he has every day? But he's used to it. That's his natural default state. He can be okay with them. But imagine having your own business and having 20 unhappy clients every day. How does it feel? Having 200 unhappy clients every day. Having 2,000 unhappy clients every day. You see like how all of a sudden your body's like, let's not go there. Let's not think about it. Thank God I don't have that. But that is the nervous system deregulation. When you experience that, you're growing. Okay? So instead of completely becoming reactive to it, allow yourself to expand. Okay? And then process and capacity is a huge one when it comes to your money frequency. I want to attract 100 clients. If I send them right now, can you deal with them? I want to have this much sales. Can you deal with that? I want to do this job. If I give it to you right now, can you handle it? So subconsciously, you don't even want it because you're not ready for it. You're not ready to receive. Too obsessed with the how. Too obsessed with the how. Like, until I know the how, I'm not even going to feel it. Show me the how first. That is money frequency controlling you. Because what it's saying you is, you cannot trust your subconscious to guide you. So you need to know exactly how it's going to happen so that you can trust the outside. Too obsessed with the how. I want to know exactly and I've noticed this with me in the past. Until I knew some of the how, I wasn't willing to go on that frequency. But until you get on the frequency, you don't get the how. So even when you cannot see how it's going to happen, can you indulge in the feeling? Or every time you feel the feeling, you start at the back of your mind an analysis of where is the gap between my current life and that life, how much is the gap, how it's going to be fulfilled, and all your internal gap analysis starts, and then it takes you off the frequency. That's your money frequency telling you, no, stay there. Okay? And then feeling like money is rejecting you. It's like money is the most neutral thing ever. It's a thing. It's like a chair. Can chair reject you and say, I don't want you to sit on me? No, it doesn't care. You sit on it. It doesn't have a mind of its own. Can table say to you, I don't want you to use me? But we have this emotionally charged feeling with money. Money is rejecting me, doesn't like me. And the way it comes is, a lot of times what I've seen with a lot of my one-to-one clients and a lot of people I work with, they didn't receive the love and the attention in their childhood, and they associated that with not being worthy to receive. So they thought the way they were treated in their childhood, money is treating them the same way. And money is angry with them. Money doesn't like them. Money doesn't feel they should have it. And having the other thing, the way money frequency controls you, is the greed. I'm feeling greedy, I shouldn't have to have more. But the thing about greedy is, you cannot help anybody by not receiving. Tell me one person who would benefit if you don't receive. One person. Name one person who would say, you know what, if you're poor, I will have the most prosperous life. Nobody. So you're not even helping poor people by not receiving. You're actually not helping them, because if you crack the wealth code and if you have unlimited money, you can actually help them. So you're actually not helping them. So what do you feel guilty about? And the other thing which is really, really important is, when you allow yourself to receive, you open the way, the doors for other people. You show them what's possible. You cannot lead somebody until you're leading yourself. It's like with health. We want the most vibrant and best health possible. Why are you being so greedy? Why can't you live with average health? And the other thing which is really, really important is that you cannot be who you really are until you have a lot of money. Because until you don't have that, you're just an altered version of you to fit a budget. I'm this person, and I make a choice where I would go, where I would eat, what I would do, who I would call, who I would meet, based on the budget. Everything is based on the budget. How can you be who you are? So having a lot of money and creating a lot of money is our natural state. And you don't need to be smart, you don't need to be intelligent, you need to have 20 degrees. All you need to do is to start seeing yourself with a lot of money and just decide that that's natural. It's a natural state to have a lot of money. Okay? So it's nothing to feel bad about. And one of the other things which I really struggled with in the past is that, let's say if in some parts of the world there is a war or something bad happening, and you feel bad for asking for money because you're like, some people are dying and I'm asking for money, how selfish of me, right? You have the power to hold the dual feelings inside of you. You can be very sad to them, have a lot of desire to help them, but on the other side, you can still ask for more. In fact, if you ask for more, it will benefit them. If you have nothing, how can you help other people? It's like, when I go to drop my kids in the morning, the day when I'm on time and everything is perfect, I give space to everybody. I'm like, I have a lot of time. Come, you car, come in front of me. You also come. The whole queue come in front of me. But the day I'm running out, I'm so tight with my space. I'm like, no, I'm not giving anybody the way. So the more you have, the more you can help other people. So you can hold the dual feelings for them. You can be very sad for them. You can want to help them, but it doesn't mean you cannot ask. You can hold the duality. You have the energetic capacity to hold both. Okay? So don't feel bad for asking. The other thing, which is really, really, really the way your money frequency controls you, is when you receive money, you're overexcited, overstimulated. And when it's not there, you're completely on the other end of the spectrum, completely down. So it's like money's controlling you. So when you receive the money, you're like, yay, I got it. It's just so good. I love this. And then when it doesn't happen, you're in the worst point. So it's controlling you. You're not operating from where you're going. So why money has so much power to control you? When you realize that actually you don't need any of that money, but you would love to have more, and it's just a fun, light-hearted game that you're playing. It's nothing too serious, because we create more lack from the thought than in reality. Because in reality, if you ever get to the place in your life where there is true lack, like you don't have food, you don't have house, you know what? You'll be very resourceful to find the solution. You'll be so resourceful. So the real problem is not the reality. The real problem is the thought of lack, which is creating more drama than actual lack. Okay? So because of this hype and down, in your emotions with money, sometimes we also have that inconsistency in our processes, in how we show up, in our marketing, in our sales, or in our business, or in our work, whatever you're doing. So let's think of this. The moment Apples have less sales than they expected, do they stop marketing? Do you feel like today Apple is down because they were expecting 10x more sales than actually happen? So now they have decided that they'll be very sad for 2 days, and then they will come get themselves back up. Or they're like, yeah, we expected more sales, but it didn't happen, but we are fully on with our plan. We're going with full fire. So when we have that money controls us internally, like being too excited, being too low, it controls our consistency. So in Apple's marketing, or in Apple's message, or in Apple's whatever kind of thing you do, in Apple's thing, you will never see when their sales are down. You will never even notice. Why? Because they don't take it personally. They don't make it a very emotional thing. So having that consistency with money and not tying it to the feeling of safety. You are your biggest safety, not money. You are the walking, talking big deal, and money comes anyway. And even if it doesn't come, you are fine. And when you untie that control, you are a match for money. So have you ever heard Amazon was expecting this $1 billion sales and it didn't happen, so they are a bit down and their servers are down and you can't really order anymore? No, because it doesn't impact any of that. They don't make it mean about them. So I just want to make sure I cover everything. Yeah. Okay. The greatest way your money frequency controls you is you undervaluing what you do. You undervaluing your work. You undervaluing your value. Oh, it's not a big deal. I can do that. I shouldn't charge more because it's easy for me. So the inherent belief is I have to suffer and have some kind of discomfort to attract a lot of money. But the whole idea of the creation of the planet was that people who are really good at what they do, they're incredible, and the things that come natural to them, they focus on that, they find their purpose, and they get massively, insanely compensated for their gifts. So if it comes easy to you, it doesn't mean you should charge less. If it comes easiest to you, it doesn't mean that you should have to go through some pain to justify the money. There is no correlation. The whole idea was people who can do things effortless, you should do those things. Because there is a sweet spot in everything for everybody. Some people are obsessed with something and you would think, how on earth can you like that? Because it comes natural to them, it's come easy to them, and they have the full right to charge whatever they want. Okay? Doing everything yourself is the other one. So if you go in your imagination and ask yourself, when my business has 10x, what do I see myself doing? And hold the vision. I'm not saying outsource everything, but hold the vision that I'm gradually starting to scale. I'm starting to give the things that are not that strategic, the things that are not my superpower, because that is one of the ways our money frequency controls us. It's a lot of times we get so overwhelmed and we make it all about ourselves. It's not about you. It's a business. It's the work that you're doing. You are born worthy. Nothing has changed. But we make it too emotional. So these are the things, the way your money frequency controls you. You can also watch the replay and find like, oh, that's me. Let me work on that. But let me give you a really powerful tool to change your money frequency. And this has really helped me quantum leap my income in such a way where I used to think like, is it like real, or am I just receiving numbers? Like, can it get this insane? So this is a really powerful way you can build up your money frequency. You can increase it and keep increasing it. So first of all, what I would highly recommend based on my experience, and I have wasted 2 years. So I'm telling you the experience of 2 years wasted. Okay. That don't set a crazy money frequency. That means don't say, I'm setting 1 million a month. That is pretty crazy. Yes, you can manifest it. There is the same way, but for you to become a match and grow into that and your belief system, it's going to be a stretch. So have the money frequency that is exciting, that is stretched, but that is not like you're constantly wondering, like, I can't even get my head around this. Like, this is too big. But don't also set too small where you're not even excited. So there is a point. The way you do it is you ask yourself, let me keep increasing my income. In your mind, you keep increasing. a point comes where you start to feel the discomfort and the stretch. You're like, I don't think I can do that. And the moment that point comes, that is your money frequency. You can set it. I would recommend to set it per month, because when you set it per month, you can actually see that number. So if I say a million is like, okay, 1 and 6 zeros. But when I say a month, I can see I'm attracting 83,000. Okay. That now I'm starting to see the picture. 83,000. Okay. What does it look like? Okay, if I spend this much on this and this much, then I'll save this much and I will do this and I will buy the property. Now I can really break it down in my head. Okay, the other thing which is really, really powerful with your money frequency is when you set it, you get a goal card, you write on it, you take your goal card with you wherever you go, but also you are now constantly bringing that money frequency. So imagine you're sitting down, you're watching TV, or you're sitting with your kids. You can just go in your imagination on that money frequency and say, imagine earning that money. How would I be shopping? So you just take one scenario and you live that. You see, okay, I'm gonna go to those shops and I'm gonna try that. And now you're seeing yourself do all of that. Not future, you're seeing yourself do all of that. And you play with that money frequency. And then you say, okay, when I have that, I am actually thinking to do the house extension, and now you're seeing the house extension. When I have that, I'm buying that car. So what you're doing is you're normalizing that money frequency. The only difference between that money frequency, it exists right now, it's in the quantum, it's that you haven't normalized it. You're not a match yet. It seems a bit big. It seems like it's not normal right now, right? That is the only reason it's not coming. Okay, so when you start to normalize the money frequency, you will start to attract it in your life. And how do you normalize it? You start to create different scenarios. Okay, you start to create different scenarios and you start to see yourself with that money. How would I feel? How would I go shopping? What kind of things I would do? What kind of things I'll be buying? How? And you every day, like 3-4 times a day, you keep bringing it and you release it. The problem which happens with most of the people is they start to get too involved with that money frequency that they're questioning it. They're saying, is it gonna happen? No, the moment you feel like you have felt the feeling, your heart is full, you're feeling it, you let it go. Don't go in analysis paralysis. Is it gonna happen? I can't see that thing happening. I can't find a way. I can't see this thing opening. I don't know how the marketing would work. I don't know what. No. You will not know the how until you impregnate the idea. So don't stop the process of impregnation. You're stopping the process of impregnation by your analysis. And that is coming from the need to know before you can go on that frequency, because you don't want to be disappointed. You don't want to go all in. It's like, can you just jump? So the way, and you cannot force yourself. That is the second point that I really want to highlight. You cannot force yourself to believe it. So you cannot say, I really want to believe it. I really want to believe it. That's forcing. That's fighting the old beliefs and focusing on the old beliefs. If you keep doing this, you keep normalizing, normalize the life in every aspect of their life with that money frequency. How you normalize, you keep bringing different aspect. You can journal on different aspects. You can say, okay, what would my relationship look like? Where would I dine out? What would I buy? How much would I give to charity? What charities would I help? How my day would look like? How would my marketing look like? What kind of clients would I attract? What kind of things? The more you start to normalize, you will start to get the ideas. You will start to normalize that frequency, and a point will come. You will just grow into it. Like your skin. You grew into your skin. It didn't stretch when you were a little baby, tiny baby, and you became an adult. Your skin didn't stretch and have marks. No, you just grew into that skin. That's how you grow into that frequency, and it takes really fast. The only reason it gets slow is when you're forcing yourself to believe, or when you're questioning, or when you're too attached to it. You just do it and you let it go, and you fall in love with your life right now. And you just do it and you let it go. You just do it and you let it go. And you keep bringing different aspects of your life, and you constantly calibrating your mind, and you let it go. Calibrate, let it go. Calibrate. And the other thing that starts to happen is you start to show up differently. You start to feel about yourself differently. You start to think about money differently. And all these things that you notice are in hindsight. You're like, oh, now I'm really different. Like, am I actually that K version or my current 3D version? There'll be a point where you'll be in the middle. And there'll be a point when you'll go on the other side. And the moment you go on the other side, the money will show up, because you will start to act different. You'll start to feel different. You'll start to behave different. You'll start to think different. You will calibrate your life first in your mind, and then it will happen in your reality automatically. There is one example, which is not the greatest one, but Napoleon Hill shared in Think and Grow Rich. He said the example of criminals, right? When the first time they are shown the crime, they hate it, they abhor it. But then, as they get used to of the crime, they just do it. And I know it's the worst example. I mean, we don't want to do any of that, but it's like you just normalize that. And the way you normalize it, you keep breaking down your life just by saying, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm successful. It doesn't mean anything. You bring it. It's like you practice feeling that feeling. You cast the energetic projection and you practice feeling that feeling. And you just grow into that person. You just grow into that reality. And it's so subtle and so beautiful that you only realize in the hindsight, ooh, I'm so different. I don't think like that. And the money starts showing up. Okay, so this is the way you increase your money frequency. You can look at the symptoms that I shared with you, but if you change your symptoms without changing the frequency, it will control you in different ways. You will have different symptoms. So if you do this part, you will start to see your symptoms will change. All of a sudden, you will start to do high ROI activities. You will start to think big. You will start to say, what if I do that? So the things that will happen on the higher frequency, you'll start doing them. You start attracting those people. You leap on that frequency, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Okay, so that's how you change it. But looking at the symptoms and realizing really helps. But changing is this way.